All right, we're going to get started at 6:04. Welcome. Thank you, everyone, for coming to our February meeting. Tonight we have a guest speaker, and we're going to start with that so that she doesn't have to stick around for the whole thing at the end. So Ms. Farmer, I think, is going to introduce our speaker.
Hello, I'm Ms. Farmer. Today I'm introducing Ms. Kelsey Anderson. Bio, sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Ms. Kelsey Bio, she's our PACE artist, and she works with two of our PE classes, and she works with their movement, and she makes sure that they are learning about mindfulness and breathing, and so she is coming up to talk about that.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Bio. Anderson is my maiden name. I started with PACE. I started with Woodvale actually my very first year and was lucky enough to come back almost every semester there in the beginning. So I got to know some of the teachers pretty well, and Christy reached out to me about doing this work over the summer, and it just kind of felt right. She knows that I kind of do this in my personal life as far as self-work and meditation and things like that. My background is in movement. I have a BFA in Performing Arts from UL, and I've been teaching dance in a studio setting, but I've been doing movement for PACE for 4 years now. So we started this grant in the PE with just the second grade, so I have the two 30-minute sessions in the morning. We are doing what I call breathe and move, because that's the basis of the work, is that we breathe first and then move, breathe and then react, or move to get through some things we're struggling with, because as we all know, kids like to move a lot. So we're trying to use movement and breathing to get the results that the teachers and parents are looking for, and to teach them the basis of this kind of self-regulated work so they can grow with that. The goal is for every grade level to have this work. We would like to be able to develop it throughout, but we did start with just second grade because Christy Taylor kind of led this up. But basically there are 3 ideas behind the breathe and move work. The first is breath. That's where we start on the floor, seated, with just breathing, inhale and exhale. We add arms and we talk about what that means, how it feels in our body when we're breathing, and then we start moving. We usually talk to them first, like, how are you feeling today? At 8 a.m. some of them are like tired or sleepy, lazy, and we talk about that. Well, what do you need when you feel those things? Sometimes we start with a stretch. Sometimes we start with a guided meditation, though we don't call it that. We say close your eyes, and I just take them to space or the forest or the ocean or wherever they suggest that day. And then we talk about what that's like. What did you notice? Trees, animals, what sounds are you hearing? Just to kind of get them all in the room, head spaces more present than necessarily like rolling out of bed and being kicked out of the car this morning, in car line. The second idea is movement. We talk about how humans need to move. We have joints and all of those things, and how do you feel when you sit really still? You get sore, your neck hurts, your back hurts. We have to move. So when is that helpful? Like, if I'm feeling sleepy or tired, I stretch. If I feel like I have too much energy, I might need to take a run. If I have whatever they need. And then the last thing is that 6-word statement, I feel blank, I need blank. So then designating how you're feeling and being able to communicate it. What are the options for feelings? I'm feeling tired, sad, hurt, upset. What are some of those words, and what does that sound like? And then what do you need in response? So if I'm feeling mad, I might need to take a breath. I might need to talk to somebody. I might need some space. I might need this. So we give options for them to kind of be able to communicate that to people more clearly, because as teachers and parents know, everything shuts down when we're quiet. If we could communicate that, that would be ideal. And then just practicing modeling that as parents and teachers. Me saying, I feel frustrated, that you're not listening, I need you to do this. So that in response, they can say, I feel confused, I need this, and just opening up that dialogue. So we've been working on this. There's been a lot of progress over the semester. I see them once a week for 30 minutes on Thursdays in their PE class. At first, kids are a little confused when I say close your eyes. They don't. And, you know, they're kind of peeking around. But now when I say close your eyes, the whole class either closed. Now there's more feedback from the students. Now there's more interest in communicating with their bodies. And that looks like gestures we started with recently for the phrase. So then they have a movement or a gesture for each word, like I feel, and then they make a gesture for how they feel, and then I need, and then they would show that with their body. And how does that look when you make it really big, and how is it really small, and how would you do that sitting in your desk? Maybe with your hands or maybe with your face, you know. And we kind of play around with that. So it's just been really enlightening. And that's basically the breathe and move work there. I also have a grant with Miss Mary Jansen in first grade, adding movement into her CKLA curriculum. And we're also piloting at Evangeline with the counselor. We targeted 12 fourth grade boys with the most write-ups in the school, and we come together for 45 minutes in this kind of therapy movement conjoined thing, and it's a little bit of a wild ride, but every once in a while there's some really good moments in there, and it's been really fulfilling to be able to explore this work, and I hope that it gets to grow more. So thank you all for having me.
Thank you. We do an adult class. Do we have any second grade? Miss Farmer, you're the second grade. Have you noticed the kids incorporating it in class too, not just in the PE?
Definitely. So the students in my class, when I also do a little bit of guided meditation when I see my students are really frustrated or they just need like a breath if we're really overexcited or stimulated. So I will do deep breaths with them, and they will do the hand motion sometimes. I know that y'all do in PE. When at first I was like, what is going on? And then I realized, how do they all know what to do at the same time? And then I realized that they're doing it in PE. And so they definitely are tying it in. And when a teacher does start it in the classroom, that they're able to bring it in from PE into the class, and it's amazing. It really is.
Do we have any second grade parents here that have noticed anything? Or having no second grade parents? That's cool. I kind of want that for myself. Thank you very much, Kelsey. We appreciate it. Anything on that? We'll go ahead and approve those minutes with a motion from the floor. I'll move to approve. Thank you, Nicole. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. All right. That's all we need for that. Adele was not able to be here tonight, so I'll give y'all the treasurer's report. In our members, in our accounts, for membership, we're at $5,394. In popcorn, we're at $6,118.24. In our general fund, we're at $21,718.94. And I'll go ahead and tell y'all that for the fun run from our corporate sponsors, we are at $3,700. So we're very excited about that. That's a good little chunk of change to make this a really, really fun event for the kids. We do need to vote on a reallocation of funds. We talked about it last meeting. We have been asked to assist with the purchase of some more of the Eagle pins that the kids who are leaders of the week receive. There was not quite enough money in that budget for that, so we need to. It's basically moving money for the budget. It's in our account. It's nothing else is going to be. It's not going to be taken from anything else that we need it for. It's there, so we can easily move it over. But we do need to vote on that. So I first just need a motion to add $250 to the PBIS budget.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Any discussion or questions? Okay, we'll just take a vote. All those in favor to move $250 to our PBIS budget? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, fantastic. Thank you. One more thing on the treasurer's report that I'll mention is that Adele let me know that not all grade level allocations have been spent. I know it's hard to imagine, but we are kind of approaching the end of the year. since we only meet once a month and stuff. So we would like for, I don't even know what grade levels haven't.
I
don't
think
know
I've recently signed off on some. If I
Oh,
remember
really?
correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, spend that money. That's what it's there for. Each grade level has $750 to use for the kids. So let's get that in and spent. Okay, so moving on to old business. We're going to talk about the fun run. That's a lot of what we probably need to discuss, and kind of a little more of the specifics, because it is between now and our next meeting. So Nicole will come up and give y'all the lowdown.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm the fun run lady. Apparently it's going to be before the next PTC meeting, so that's great. As Naomi said, we've raised a good chunk of change from our sponsors, which is really awesome, and it's humbling, and it's really cool to know that people are willing to support us like that. And collection packets have gone home. And so let me back up for a second. What Fun Run is, what Eagle Run is we put on a big fun run one Friday in the spring for all the kids. And each grade comes out at a time, and they run on our race course. We have it set up just like a real race course. They cross a finish line. They have like little water cups. They collect a wristband every time they make a lap, so they have bragging rights to their friends. We have parents cheering them on. We invite the community to come and see the kids run. And then afterwards we give them a nice snack. But what we ask the children to do is to fun run, let people know that they are participating, that they are going to be doing this fun run at school, and say like, hey, will you sponsor me? Or, hey, can you help me raise money for my school in some other way in connection with the fun run? And so the fun run will be the 13th of March, Friday the 13th. We're not going to dwell on that too much, but but the deadline to raise money for the children will be March the 4th, and that's a Wednesday. We ask that parents help your students have all the money that they've raised at school March 4th at noon. And we have a team of parents that are going to go through and make all those deposits, count up all that money, and we'll be able to determine who our grand prize winners are and all of that. And then and then for everyone that qualifies for a prize, we're on the sheet. It looks like, oh, that looks like something that would come at a later date. Those will all happen on March the 20th, and all of the prizes should go home March the 20th. Is there anything I missed? No? Any questions?
You want to just say that what the money, like the sponsor money goes to versus the kid money?
Yeah, okay, right. So why we ask people to give us sponsorship money is because I have to buy a lot of stuff. So I'm going to buy prizes. We have a lot of them donated, but I still have to pay for them. I mentioned that we feed the kids a snack after the fun run. Buying enough pretzels to feed every child in school is almost $200, and it's all of these other little things that add up. And so why we ask for sponsorship is so that anything that I spend money on or that the school spends money on is completely covered by the sponsors. And then all of the money that the children raise stays right here at Woodvale. So we can say everything that the kids raise is right here. So I think the children raised a little over $18,000 last year, and all of that money is here, or we've already started spending it. It's been reinvested back in the school. So yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Does anybody have questions about that? Get those kids excited, and they are already excited, but those new ones especially. We like to just encourage them to be creative and think of ways to raise money. Lemonade stands, garage sale, asking the neighbor, hey, can I take out your trash this week for $1? I don't know, something, anything. Kind of gives them some ownership, makes them proud. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is Mom's Night Out. We talked a little bit about it last month. I worked on a little survey to send out probably in the next day or two. We're going to pick a date, we're going to pick a place, and we're just going to go and have dinner. So that will be going out soon, probably tomorrow. Yes, hopefully tomorrow. The most recent update on the professional development options isn't much of anything. We're still in discussions of how to use that money. So a refresher is that we have a budget line item for professional development. Adele is not here to tell me how much it was. I think it's $2,000, of which $200 have been spent. So we have $1,800 left over to do something for the teachers. If you have any ideas, if anyone has any ideas, let us know. We hope to make a decision on how to spend that money by next meeting, or have something at least concrete to come back to the meeting with, to decide on that for our next meeting. All right, we'll just move on to new business. We don't have a ton of new business right now. I did see that Ms. Tassan asked for donations today for chalk. Those kids have been on the front circle for recess for weeks now, it feels like.
Yes, it has.
It's so wet on the playground, and I went back there last week for something, and there's puddles. I mean, I pray for no rain, because we have to have a fun run out there in about 3 weeks. So, anyway, so they've been walking the front circle for recess, and she gave them chalk today, and they went crazy, and probably used it all up, just 2 grade levels, I think, in their 30-minute recess. So, if anyone has the desire in their heart to donate some chalk, let those kiddos have fun out there and do something different, and they like that. Kindergarten registration is coming up on the 6th of March. We last year provided a little table. We had a information table for new parents to come in. You're coming in as a new parent, especially if you don't have any older children, usually first child kindergarten, you have a million questions. And so what we want to do is just be there, a face-to-face person, not just paper on the table, handouts, to talk to people, answer the million questions that they have. So we will be looking for a couple of volunteers. It's all day, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll probably...
8:30 to 2:30, I think.
Yeah, so we'll probably try and do 3 or 4 people, maybe even 5, depending on how many we can get, to do shifts, maybe 2 at a time, so you're not sitting there by yourself. It's always a fun, something like that is fun to get to know someone that you don't know yet. I've met a lot of people that way, just working, sitting at a table by ourselves when there's no one there. We just talk and get to know somebody. It's kind of neat. So that's coming soon. We'll probably send out a time to sign up or something like that. The only other thing I wanted to mention that's new is that, like I said, the end of the year is quickly approaching, and we will be looking for new officers for our PTC board. I am leaving, so we'll be looking for a president. Our secretary and treasurer are both rotating off. Their 2 years is up, so we will be voting on 3 positions. Kyle is the only one sticking around. He's not letting him go anywhere. So we will be looking for president, secretary, and treasurer. Right now we have 2 secretaries, and that's fine. We can do that for any position except president, I think, according to our bylaws. So be thinking of who you would like to nominate. We usually do a Google form for that. We send it out, and you can fill it out, and it comes right to us, and we'll hopefully have those locked in maybe by the March meeting, with probably a little bit of an extension, and then we'll vote in April. So it's only a couple months away. And I think that is all I have for PTC business. Does anyone have any questions PTC wise? If not, we can move on to administration. Ms. Vidas has a very exciting update for us about our LED sign.
Yes, funds that we had put in there from last year. Anyway, it finally was approved at the board meeting last week.
Oh, awesome.
So steps will be moving forward now to install the sign. Should take, I'm hoping real soon, in the next few weeks, but it's wait and see. But we're doing our part to move forward with it now that it's been officially approved. So
That's exciting.
Cool.
yes, it is.
I might throw a party the day they break ground.
So thank y'all.
The only other thing we have is just our upcoming calendar items. This Thursday, the 20th, that we have our Black History Month performances. Thank you, Ms. Will.
And the times were changed,
Yes.
just as an FYI. We put it in the last newsletter last week, but just to reiterate.
We can post those updated times tomorrow
Okay.
on our Facebook page.
Speaking of times, I'm gonna hopefully get times with Miss Vita
Okay.
soon, so that we can let people know when their
Yeah.
kids will actually be running, and teachers when you actually get that time to yourself.
Next week is Mardi Gras. Woohoo! 3 days off, and then an extra day for students. So students do not report until Friday. Thursday is the in-service for teachers. Then the week after that, we have the book character parade on Thursday the 5th at 8:30. For those who don't know, it's a lot. Is it Library Week? Is that the National Library Week?
No, it's Dr. Seuss Week.
Oh, it's Dr. Seuss. Okay. So each class picks a theme, a book to usually each class picks a book to all dress up as, and the kiddos get to wear costumes and take a couple laps around the circle and wave to mom and dad. Parents are more than welcome. We love having parents here to see everybody, all the kids. It's a fun event. Kindergarten registration, we talked about that. Spring Picture Day is also coming up, so we'll need a few volunteers for that. So the 10th of March. And then we still have some time, but the big event for UL is March 28th, and so we're going to participate in that, and we're going to incorporate our spring campus cleanup day.
I'll know soon that if it's in the morning or an afternoon
Okay,
session.
good.
To register. So I'll let y'all know that as soon as I find out.
Okay, perfect. And does anyone have any questions for our administration?
I have one other thing. We also have our fitness team that is going to be participating in the meet on March 4th. We have some from each grade level chosen that will participate at Northside High, which is where all the schools go to have the fitness meet that day.
That's fun. Yeah. All right, y'all. We have some teachers that want to. Mr. Quinn, let me let you have the floor. Mr. Quinn wants to talk to us about his curriculum.
Yeah. So we're supposed to share something about our classrooms, and I just thought, because it's so different than what's taking place in most of the classrooms here. So I'm William Quinn, I'm a special education teacher, and we deliver the curriculum to the students in my room in a little bit different way than maybe some other teachers do it. And we do it because we do it using this curriculum here, the unique learning curriculum. So I'll just bring up one of our stories we're going through this week, and it like differentiates all the stories, so we can all be reading the same story but at 3 different reading levels. And a lot of the activities that, and it all has speech to text for our students that aren't able to read it. So it just like lets them access the curriculum. A lot of times I'll teach a lesson up here, and we'll have our iPads open to the similar lesson on here. So I have a lot of kids that are nonverbal, but they know what I'm saying, and they're able to follow along, and they're able to use the touch screens on the iPad to say a letter, or say a number, or pick an answer. And the curriculum has everything in it. We start with word work, reading, writing. Some of our kids aren't able to write, so we have just different ways for them to compose sentences or complete paragraphs. I don't know. You can't really tell too much from this, probably, but it's pretty cool. There's so much content in here, and each month is a different theme. So this month, all the lessons have something to do with geography, and yeah, this is.
It's a very good curriculum
how
for
I
our
do
special needs students.
most of the teaching in my classroom is done using this program here. We'll take a look at just something real quick, I guess. Not that. Oh, so these are the comprehension questions. You see they have symbols underneath each word. So even our kids who may not be able to decode the words can sort of follow along by just looking at the symbols. I didn't know how to turn the big screen on. So.
I don't know why it's not connected.
And this would be for for a lower student, and then like our level 2 comprehension questions still have some symbols for the answers, but not here in the text. And then level 3 are highest functioning, and it looks a lot more like maybe what you see in your kids bring home. That's it.
I'm Miss Wills, the music teacher. I just am here tonight to mention next month, March 26th, if you want to add that to the calendar, we're having our second annual Family Folk Dance Night.
Oh, yeah.
And for the parents that are new, just to kind of explain what that is, some different folk from kindergarten all the way up to 4th grade. You're going to be invited to attend. It's at from 6 to 7. When you come, you're encouraged to dance. The kids are gonna kind of be co-teachers that night. Those of you that came last year, hopefully you had fun, and hopefully be even bigger than it was last year. So information about the event is gonna come after we return from the Mardi Gras holiday. So that'll go home soon.
I heard it was a big hit last year. I couldn't
Yeah,
make it,
it
but
was
everyone
awesome.
loved it.
It was awesome. Yes.
Awesome.
Are there going to be t-shirts this year?
No, I'm not doing t-shirts this year.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Darn.
Fundraiser for next year.
Yeah. Well.
I'll go next. Amy Van Fleet. I teach first grade gifted. Pretty soon we're going to be working on writing, some creative writing for the Rites of Spring, the annual contest that the Lafayette Public Library has. My kids love to write. Every chance they get, they're making little books and they're illustrating things, and so this would be a good chance for us to do some poetry and some creative writing and make up stories, which they love to do. So we usually have somebody place, so hopefully this year
Exciting.
we'll be lucky again.
Thank you.
I'll go next, I guess. Okay, Jessica Oda, I teach kindergarten. Right now we're just still moving along with our curriculum. We're finally starting to actually start reading. So the kids are very excited because all year long it's just been sound, and letter teams. So now we're actually blending words and they're enjoying it. And right now we're working on the book character parade. So we're discussing our book and trying to find which habit we can tie into our book, and then what we're gonna dress up as.
I'll go. I'm Allie Cortez. I teach VI, visually impaired. January was Braille Literacy Month, so we did a little unit on Lewis Braille and brought him some birthday cards, and it was really fun. And then first grade was doing a lesson on Helen Keller, so Miss Richard's class took a field trip to my classroom, and we kind of looked over some Braille books, and I wrote their name on some cards, and we kind of just talked and did a little Braille unit. It was fun.
I'm Karen Angel. I teach third. Right before Christmas, Miss Vitas was able to purchase third grade Chromebooks. So now all the kids are one-to-one, and it's fabulous.
Yes,
It's making
that was some
everything
well-used
much
money.
easier.
Good.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm Taylor Wallace. I teach 4th grade, and I'm also in charge of the robotics club, which I'm going to talk about now. We have tomorrow is our last meeting for the second round of kids that were involved, and we're having a little competition with all 9 of the teams. And we have some celebrity guest judges, Miss Cobell, Miss Taylor, Miss Yurjo, and Mr. Jory from Barnes Noble. So once we have a winner from the second round and a winner from the first round, we're gonna train them after school until May, when we're gonna have our first annual, hopefully, LPSS district-wide robotics competition.
Yay.
So, very excited.
Hi, I'm Enola Farmer. I'm in second grade. Right now in second grade in social studies, we're working on our biographies. We're gonna have a biography day where the students get to dress up as their person that they've been writing about and learning about, and they're gonna present it. We haven't set a date for that yet, but that'll be coming soon. So we tried to tie in our leader in me and our leadership and look for the qualities of those people that have influenced our society. And so the kids are learning about them, they're writing about them, they're so excited. So it's awesome.
That's great.
And then one other thing, I guess I can do an update on the new wing edition. We were told that it should be finished like in the end of April, May possibly. So, you know,
Yay.
even if it's June, I think it's going to be exciting that we can officially move in there. You know,
We're gonna have a big like ribbon cutting ceremony.
Sure. I think
Yay.
that'll come later. But yeah, it's coming along really well.
Very good. I guess that is all we have, unless anyone, parents here, have any questions for us. We again are giving away some Woodvale PTC tumblers. So let's see if any of our teachers that are here will win. These are for our teachers and staff, all staff. Miss Shakira West, she's our nurse. Is this?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay. I think we have 5. Sarah Clavel. Brittany Williams, 1st grade. That's Tanner's teacher. You rigged that.
I did not rig that.
Oh, Mr. Michael Babineau, one of our custodians.
Great.
One more. And Miss Christy Bajon, kindergarten.
Yay.
So we will get that to them. Miss Clavel, you can take yours home today.
They are nice.
Okay, our next meeting is March 17th, so come with your green on. And we will have a St. Patrick's Day themed meeting, maybe. Super exciting. That's it. Thank you guys.
Thank you.